All right, Brakday Howard, Brakday Howard Shai, Brakday Howard, Brakday Howard Shai, Kalpala Howard Bachin Howard Shai, Bachin Howard Kakadash. Give honor to the elder apostle, a great militant who will, and sincere salutation of Aki that puts on the truth across the four corners of the earth to the spirit and power of Yahweh Bachin Shai, that the hope will elect. And shalom, salutation to the Israelite foreigner that is scattered among all the nations of the four corners of the earth that believe in the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And peace and shalom to the Israelite, to the sister and family that are tuning into this doctrine that's preached around the whole world. Peace and mercy unto you, and who the world ignorantly called God, his name is Yahweh, and who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai. And it's the Hebrew Israelite, which consists of you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, and those who line descendant go back to one of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, how you can see on the screen, what's been going on this past week, 2 weeks, about what Nick Cannon said, but I wanted to focus on the part of the work after work. Basically, we're Semitic too. And by saying that we're Semitic too, it's talking about the so-called Negro, Latino, and the Native American, which are Hebrew Israelite, which are stem from the line of Shem as well. All right? And this Cannon said you can't be anti-Semitic when we are the Semitic people. See? And he's right. That's why I go into the first. I'm gonna look up Semitic. All right. I already got Semitic right here. It is Semitic. This is edomonline.com. Okay. It's 1797, denoting the language groups that include Hebrew, Arabic, Aramaic, Assyrian, etc. Right, because all these people are Semitic as well. All right, the Asian, the Japanese, the Chinese, the Indian, the Arab people, all those people, and including us that I mentioned earlier, so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, we're all Semitic people. We're all from the line of Shem. All right. Let's continue on. It said 1826 as of or pertaining to Semites. All right, from medieval Latin, Semiticus. These would say come from Semet. And then from 1813, it's non-linguistic use. Linguistic. A language producing or relating to language or linguistics. All right. So this has nothing to do, basically, the definition now from 1813 had nothing to do with language, as it's supposed to did back in 1797. All right. It said perhaps directly from German, Semitics. That's pronouncing that right. Reaching use often with the specific Jewish, but not historically so limited. So this always has been a historical sense. Basically, it haven't always meant just the Jewish people, right? Well, that's a whole nother topic, Jewish, okay? Because they'll find out that those people that call themselves Jewish in the land of Israel are not the true Jews. That's why you have the suffix at the end of the word, which is what? ISH, which means pertaining to. You can look it up right here on the Edom line. ISH, search. The adjectival word forming element of the nativity or county of, in latter sense of the nature or character of. It's not a good definition. I'll hear that ish, a suffix used to form adjective from noun with the sense of belonging to. Alright? Now you go to right here, that like. Having the characteristic of or like. It's basically like. That's how you say somebody acting babyish, or you're saying that this is blackish. It's not black, but it's light black. So that's the same thing with the Jewish. They're not the real Jews. They're trying to be like the real Jew, but they're not. So that's why they call themselves Jewish and not Jews. With Jew stems from short for the word Judah. Okay. So back to we're all Semitic people. Okay. And I want to get one more definition. Let's see what I have right here. Yeah. Another point is the website. Just Google Donovan Bible Dictionary. Since I don't have it actually on me, so I went ahead and Googled it. It is basically a snapshot from the Donovan Bible Compact Dictionary, all right, which was put together by so-called white men, all right. So we know Ham is one of the three sons of Noah. You have Ham, Shem, and Japheth, okay? And those people here today, their line go back to one of those three sons of Noah, okay? That's why you got Hamitic people, Japhetic people, and Semitic people, okay? And we're part of the Semitic people. And let's prove it right here. It's the Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, right? You know, the progenitor basically like the fathers, all right, of the dark races, all right? So we're dark skins too. But guess what it said? Not the Negros, all right? Because the so-called white man, they know that Negro and Africans are two different people. That Negroes are Afro-Semitic and the Africans are Afro-Hamitic, right? Because that's what it said. It said, not the Negro, all right? That's why I said at the beginning of the video that the so-called Negro and Latino Native American are Semitic people too, all right? If the Negro are not, did not come from Ham, then our brother and sister, which are the so-called Latino and Native Americans, are Semitic too, all right? Because we come from the same father, which is Jacob, was named changed to Israel. But the Egyptian, the Ethiopian, Libyan, and the Canaanite, all right? The Canaanite is basically from Canaan, one of the sons of Ham, right? The grandson of Noah, okay? So this proves right here that we are Semitic people as well. And the so-called white men know that, all right? That we are Semitic, all right? So therefore we can't be anti-Semitic, all right? Like I said, we're Semitic people as well. Now you go here, it's Genesis 5:32. It said, and Noah was 500 years old, and Noah got Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So you have 3 sons that Noah had, okay? And then from those 3 sons of Noah, or progenitor of the people here on the earth, okay? Jump down to read again, Genesis 6 and 10, and Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All right. I'm trying to go to. All right. So it's the generation of the son. It's the son of Japheth, verse 2, all the way down to what is that? Verse 5, and then Ham, verse 6, all the way down. And then trying to get to Shem. And then verse 21, Genesis 10 and 21, unto Shem also the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him were children born. And then you have the children of Shem, Elam. Now let me get if I can find the nation. Chart. Here we go. There's another one. This is one of them, but there's another one. But I can find the other one. Probably won't be able to find it. So basically, there's another campsite that we used at Great Millstone that had the 3 nation breakdown. But this will work. Okay. So these are all these people here today on earth have a biblical nationality. All right. It said back to Genesis 10 and 22, the children of Shem, Elam, which are Elam, Ashur, and Adad, and Lud, and Aram. All right. So Elam were today India, Ashur is today Assyria, Aram are today Syrian. Yep, that we mentioned. I don't think blood is on here, but we will continue. All right. So these, all those people that I just mentioned are Semitic. Okay. And we don't have to read the rest because basically, um, those are people. Those are sons that was born from each of those Semitic people. All right. So I'm gonna keep on going because this. Actually, I'm gonna keep on going because this get to the point to us Hebrew Israelite. All right. And then verse 23, and the children of Ram, Hol, and Geter, and Mach, and Aphatdah begat Salah, and Salah begat Eber. Okay. So Aphatdah, right? So you have from Shem, you have Aphatdah, one of the sons, one of the five sons of Aram, okay, or Talakia of Aphatdah. Then from Aphatdah went to Aram. Then from Aram it went to what was that? No, Talakia. It went from Aphatdah to Eber, and from Eber to Pelat. Okay. Verse 25, and unto Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Pelet, for in this day was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Jotan. Okay, so that's where the division happened. And then from Eber, we'll go look for Eber. Oh, Talakia Pelet. Okay. So that's where the division happened. Now, verse 31, these are the sons of Shem, and after their family, after their tongue, and their land, after their nation. Okay. Now, I want to go to Genesis 11 and 12, and Aphatdah, like verse 11, verse 10. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begat Aphatdah 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he begat Aphatdah 500 years and begat sons and daughters. And Aphatdah lived 530 years and begat Salah. And Aphatdah lived after he begat Salah 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Salah lived 30 years and begat Eber. And Salah lived after he begat Eber 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Eber lived 430 years and begat Pelet. And Eber lived after he begat Pelet for 130 years and begat sons and daughters. And that's where the division happened. And then Pelet lived 30 years and begat Reu. And Pelet lived after he begat Reu 209 years, begat sons and daughters. And Reu lived 230 years and begat Jeru. You know what? I'm going to jump straight down. Because it's where our forefather Abraham come from. It said in Terah, verse 26, lived 70 years and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, Haran, and Haran begat Lot. Okay? So, Abram was the father of many nations. Okay? And so from Ishmael comes from Abram, right? That's why, what was it? Ishmael, or the Arab today, they're Semitic too. Okay? If you've been following along, and then Lot, which was Abraham's nephew, right? Because Haran begat Lot, which was Haran was Abraham's brother, Salakia. Okay. So Lot, or the children of Lot today, are the so-called Japanese and Chinese, Moab and like it. It'll come back to me. Now this is verse 29. Abraham and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abraham's wife was Sarai or Sarah. The name of Nahor's wife Milcah, the daughter of Abraham or Haran, and the father of Milcah and the father of Ich. But Sarai was barren and had no children. Okay, so do it like this. And bear with me real quick. Here it is. Isaac. This is Genesis 21:3. Abraham called the name of his son that was born to him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. So from Noah to Shem to Aphat to Eber, Peleg. We continue on down to Abram, down to Isaac, then Isaac to Jacob, with his name was changed to Israel. And we're still all considered Semitic people, okay? Even the so-called white man, the fake Jews, are are Semitic as well. So therefore, we can't be anti-Semitic, all right? And Lord willing, I'll probably do another video. Well, I want to do a video of each of the Semitic people who they came from, okay? So basically, I just wanted to bring that out, that we're Semitic people as well, all right? So that's pretty much it. So hopefully that was edifying to the spirit, probably how much I'm signing with that. Shalom.